Hello there, travelers, and welcome back to another episode of Grug the Grung Stories and More, where we offer repose to the weary and glory to the brave. I am Grug the Grung, and this here calm waters is the pond. Today I bring to you the tale of a suicidal PC and a zealot player who failed to grasp the game. These stories are interesting to say the least. There's not much in the way of lessons to be learned here. Instead, today we just stand in bewilderment. Now grab yourself a log, huddle in closely, and without further ado, row post! I've been playing for 30 years. I've seen some stuff, guys. But I've never seen anything quite like this. I have simplified some facts and compressed the timeline for brevity's sake, but the story is true. Guy turns up to first session, one of the wizard's pre-published campaigns. Most of the players don't know one another, but that's cool. Online game only because of a little minor disease. Anyway, Guy turns up. He plays a Paladin. The entire thing was that he was in charge. Found out later he was meant to be a commander at level 1. The first fight, he charges right at the enemy ranks. Up to one of their big bosses. Whole time yelling commands at his enemies. Proceeds to attempt to take down the enemy commander and, of course, gets his butt soundly and decisively whipped. We stabilize him and go about our business trying to save the town. Second session. Repeat. Like almost exactly the same. Charges at another enemy leader, demanding the leader fight him in a single combat. Leader laughs. Minions descend. But is once more whipped. After healing, he desperately tries to grab chains and hog tie one of the attacking raiders. No luck. Chases him down. No luck. Nobody gets away from me! Runs very far away from us. Who can heal him? No luck. Another beatdown ensues. Session 3. Our friend here decides to track the bad guys to their lair. Alone. Doesn't wait for us. Goes off, tries to cause chaos in the enemy camp. Lures a bunch of them out. Guess what happens? That's right. He gets his butt whooped once again. Except, now none of us are around to help. He bleeds out. Told us he was happy to sacrifice himself to demonstrate his resolve. He said he would die in battle alone to prove that he couldn't be beaten. Us. But you could be beaten. We watched it happen 3 or 4 times. He. But my point was clear. I do not surrender. Us. Well, good job there, Churchill. You're very dead. DM. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to leave the game. And that was that. We all looked at one another like, what the hell just happened? Due to the timing of sessions, this was essentially all in the first session, for all intents and purposes. And the whole time, the character barely spoke to anyone. I don't think he and I exchanged a single word. Player didn't even say much either, and didn't laugh at a single joke I made, not even no homunculus, which I believed was hysterical. Doesn't matter, didn't laugh at any joke made by anyone. What game did he think he was playing? What did he think the purpose of the exercise was? I get he might not have played before, but you'd understand that it's a game for everyone, and you can't just kill all the baddies yourself, right? And you'd learn from the first, second, or third mistake, right? I recognize a neurodivergent person when I see one, and that's absolutely cool. I'm Indy myself, but man, just what the hell was that? I've played with people who didn't really know what to do, and with people who were spotlight hogs, min-maxers, etc. But I gotta say, this was a new one. It was like he, personally, was playing a different game to us and he didn't even know we were there. Just wanted to share the story because, wow. Yeah, something was not normal about this individual. I don't think we can assume they were ND. It is more likely that they just thought this was a one-man game with no consequences. He'll be the leader, and whatever he says goes, and everything resolves magically and perfectly. You know, like in any RPG video game ever. You died? No matter. Just respawn and go at it again. Like I said, no real lesson here except maybe make sure you understand that TTRPGs are collaborative role-playing games. It is not one person dictating what happens at the table. Together, everyone involved makes the story happen. But then again, if you're watching this video, chances are you already know this. So, moving on to our next story. A very devout Christian cannot compute the existence of other gods. Row post. So this is a strange horror story, even for my standards. Time ago, I was on a Discord call during the pandemic and I was discussing certain games for the people in chat, to which one particular individual, whom we will call Kenneth, for obvious reasons, is in the conversation listening carefully. This server was focused on TTRPGs, but most people only did D&D because that was the only thing they knew, and I have a reputation for being the drug dealer of games. I'm the shady guy who goes,
Psst, hey, you wanna play some Vampire the Masquerade? The cool kids play Vampire the Masquerade.
type of guy. Thing is, I'm describing Exalted. Some of you may go, oh boy, the moment I said the name. For those who don't know what Exalted is, I'll try to summarize it as this. Think Avatar, The Last Airbender, / Korra, plus Final Fantasy 3 and 4, and a bit of 7, add Ghibli's Mononoke, Nausicaa, Laputa, a bit of Macross Plus, a bit of Evangelion, a lot of 90s martial arts anime, and you're halfway there. It's a high fantasy TTRPG that tries to emulate the drama and combat of anime, with all the style and rule of cool you can squeeze into a book. That being said, the book has its flaws, but that's not why we're here. So, I had a few people interested. Among them was Kenneth. As I was explaining the backstory of the game, I went into the myth of creation when Sol Invictus gave his powers to exalt individuals to bear his power, and how the Solar Exalted were gods among gods. To which Kenneth goes, "Excuse me, what?" "Oh yeah," I said. "Exalted has a rich mythology where there's a god for everything. It's very close to animism in theory." "Any what?" said Kenneth. Animism, you know, a religious belief in which everything, every object, and every being in nature has a corresponding god. The god of rivers, the god of winds, the god of harvest, the god of the blade, the god of hammers, etc. "I don't get it," said Kenneth. To which everyone was silent, and I said, "It's kinda common in anime." "Yeah, but I still don't get it. I mean, it can be possible in Japan, but in Christianity there's only one god, and believing there's any more is heresy." I couldn't believe it. The guy couldn't separate his personal perspectives from a game, or even expand his personal horizons to consider that possibility. I don't like it, it sounds satanic," he said, to which one of the players said, "How can that be satanic?" "Well, again, they believe in other gods beyond the god, and Jesus is kinda disrespectful." Another player in the chat interjected, "But don't you run D&D? Isn't there like huge pantheons of gods?" Kenneth said, "What's a pantheon?" I explained, "You know, different gods with their own systems of belief." To which Kenneth replied one of the things that to this day made me speechless. "Yeah, but in my D&D games I don't use other gods. I made Jesus in D&D and God. And then there's Satan. It's very easy to understand and it follows the Christian values." One of the players said, "But what if I'm Jewish and I don't believe in Christ?" To which Kenneth just nonchalantly said, "I won't let you in my games, as simple as that." After that, I had to take 5. Time passed, and I ended up running Exalted for a bit to a few of the players. We had fun, and I'm glad Kenneth didn't join the game. But I'm still baffled that he was so zealot. Yeah, it's kinda baffling to see when someone can't separate fiction from reality. Honestly, it's not really their fault either. I mean, if they're this much of a fanatic, it is because he was drilled into being so. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being faithful, nothing wrong with following this or that religion, or not following any religion at all. But we can't let our beliefs stop us from accepting or even tolerating others. We can see that due to his fanatism, Kenneth not only had a limited scope on his views, but was also quick to dismiss the opinion and beliefs of others, and was willing to discriminate against another group without hesitation. Like all things, anything in extremes is not good. Hey, yes! That'll be the lesson for today. Extremes are detrimental. Well, that'll be it for today, folks. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope your rest eyes have been kind to you. If you have enjoyed yourself here today at the pond, feel free to drop a like and follow the channel for more stories to come. Good luck out there, adventurers, and remember that anything in extremes is detrimental. Till we meet again.